Sangram here. I'm here to show you how to build $1 million fractional business. Really, there are 3 ways to do that. But before I get into it, let me just give you a few facts. Number 1, I've built 3 businesses over $100 million. Hardart got acquired by ExactTarget and Salesforce for over $100 million. So the reason I'm sharing that is because I've really done this. My last company, Terminus, got acquired by a PE firm. These businesses exist. I've had $100 million plus exits. I've written 2 courses on LinkedIn. You can go check it out. That has over 70,000 students. And I'm sharing all that just to get the credibility factor out, because everything I'm about to share is something I've done. These companies exist. These courses actually have been used by hundreds of thousands of people. And I'm not going to tell you anything that I've not done. So that being said, I'm here to talk to you more about how do you build $1 million fractional business. Now, this is specifically for those who either have 10 plus years of experience doing something. Maybe you've been a CMO or VP of marketing or VP of sales in B2B. This is for you. This is for people who actually want to build a fractional business, have a lifestyle. But before you do that, you have to think about this. You have to start with the end in mind. You have to understand that you're not running anything, you're actually owning a business, and you have to figure out how do you work through your time and energy. So the first part is you have to start with the end in mind. What kind of business do you want to build? Is it the fractional around all the experience you have? Do you want a Friday off? Because that's kind of what I wanted to do. Or do you want something that you can run workshops on a regular basis? Maybe you want to work 3 days a week. All of those are possible options, but you have to build this with the end in mind. So first thing, if you're writing it down, just write it down that you need to have an end in mind. Number 2, you may have built a $30 million, $50 million pipeline for a company as a VP of marketing or a CMO or a CRO or CEO. But now when you have to build your own pipeline for 3 to 5 clients, because that's all it takes, it's really 3 to 5 clients paying you $10K a month, you actually are building a $500,000 business. The reason it's so hard and difficult sometimes is because you have never owned a business. You've run, but you haven't really owned. So there is a mindset shift that I'm going to talk about in a second that is about owning a business, what that means, because then you're the SDR, the marketing, the CEO, everything in it, but you can feel very overwhelmed, but you don't have to. That's the whole point. And that's why the 3 ways are very important for you to understand. How do you build $1 million fractional business? And the last part is your time and your energy. For me, doing workshops, actually love it. Doing courses like this, YouTube videos, I love it. If I have to do one-on-one coaching with every single one, that is hard for me. For some of you, that may be the one thing that you like to do. Some of our students, they're able to do a fractional work once a week. They're in an office or on remote for 1 day a week with a client, and they charge $10,000 a month, and that works for them. That's the lifestyle they want. Some don't want to do it anything until Friday because you have done hard work. You don't want to be again in the same zone of working hard and not making enough, signing up for 40 hours and actually working 80 hours. That's not how a fractional works. So you have to understand how your time and energy is. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. The reason this is the best time to become a fractional go-to-market leader, a CMO, a fractional CRO, or a VP or marketing or CEO is because of 3 things. Number 1, the market has shifted. It has shifted from growth at all costs to efficient growth. So every company is looking for someone who has experience like you, 10, 20 years of experience in the industry, in the area that it is, that when you have that kind of experience, they want you for the fraction of the time and fraction of the cost. That's why the market has shifted and you're so important. Number 2, the CEOs are hiring, but they're hiring for outcomes. They're not hiring an individual to be in 10 meetings, they're hiring for outcomes. So you have to think about it like when you own a business, what kind of outcomes does a CEO want and how do you deliver that? And number 3, it's literally a CapEx versus OpEx conversation, meaning that we are seeing a rise of services as a software. So you think about the CapEx is when you have to spend money on tools and technology, a company costs money. But if you can hire somebody for a fraction of the time and fraction of the cost, it actually is pretty awesome. So when you think about this, it's the market has shifted, the CEOs are hiring, and it's a really, really good OpEx distribution. So this is the best time to be a fractional go-to-market leader. And if you have 10 plus years of experience, this whole video is for you. Now, before I jump into the 3 ways to think about it, I want you to hear this loud and clear. We have done so much research. There are over 175,000 people who read our GTM Monday, and you can subscribe to that and check it out. But we asked survey around go-to-market for B2B companies, and every time we do this, what's the one thing keeping businesses from hitting their business goals? 68% of them say it's because of the internal go-to-market clarity. They can't hit the goals because nobody knows what they're doing. We don't have a common system. We don't have a common process. So when you go in and say, I do fractional work where I can do X, Y, and Z, it is blah, blah, blah. But when you go and say, hey, I'm a certified professional who actually works with legal tech companies over 20 million in revenue, and here's what I do, they are immediately saying, oh, I'm a legal tech, I'm at 20 million, I need help, thank you for helping me, I need to talk to you. So you have to figure out a way of talking to them in a way that is going after the right audience. Now, you maybe have done that for your companies, but now you got to do that for you. But the stat is 68% of the companies and the leadership team is saying if they had internal go-to-market clarity around what to do and how to do, why to do it, they can figure it out. Which is why your role as a fractional to run executive workshops and fractional work is absolutely the way the market is moving. Now, we have seen one of the big reasons why go-to-market is failing and why people are looking for ways to become a fractional is because the way people are buying, selling, and building has changed. And you get to come in and try solving for that. So let me just share, like Don, you should go check him out on LinkedIn. He has 7 years of experience building his own go-to-market advisory. He used to work with a company called Serious Decisions and has been a very, very well-known guy. And now he is a GTM OS certified partner. And in the first 30 days, he got a new website done using the operating system and had booked 8 meetings. And he's literally building a lifestyle business. So if you're interested in this, just comment expert and I will send all of these case studies to you, like Don's study. As a matter of fact, even Sue Foley. Sue Foley is actually in Australia. You can again check her out on LinkedIn over here. She has 30 years of experience as a CMO. And when she actually signed up with us to go through this becoming a $1 million fractional go-to-market leader, she had to make a hard decision between paying her mortgage or paying for the program. So if you're in the middle of it, I'm just letting you know, I did not know that until she shared that with us. But in 30 days, she went all in and got 4 clients. And therefore, again, if you are in a place where you're starting to think about becoming a fractional, or you have been in the B2B advisory world and you don't really have a system and a process and a funnel and a framework, that's what we do. Remember, none of this, nor Dawn nor Sue, had a huge following. If you go and look at their LinkedIn, they barely have 1,000, 2,000 people who follow them. It is not about trying to spam people. It's not about doing cold callings. It's not dropping an AI spam out there. It's literally following a simple system, because ultimately you need 3 to 5 clients paying you 5, 10K a month in order to have an incredible $1 million lifestyle business. That's what we want to do. So comment expert, so at the bottom, and so we can send you all of these details and you will be on your way. Now, as I shared the 3 different ways you can build a profitable, scalable $1 million fractional business, here's what you need to get hired. First, you need the credibility, you need the references, and I believe you already probably have that. If you're watching this, you probably have 10 plus years of experience of doing some of these things. You already have credibility, you already have a few references, you probably have great experience, but what you don't have is a proven system and results. These are the 2 things that's stopping people from hiring you. And trust me, once you have that with your experience, you are destined to make $1 million fractional business possible. So here are the 3 ways to build a fractional business. Number 1, you can do it on your own, which means you need to be out there every single day, write multiple different posts out there, create and tell everybody what you're doing, put yourself out there, maybe use some tools to do it. It's the longest way to do that. And you've already spent 10, 20, 30 years in the corporate building other people's businesses, but now you have to do it for yourself. So this is the longest way, but let me tell you, it's also the most profitable way because people know you and they will hire you. So if you want to starting a journey, you absolutely could do this, building your own $1 million fractional business on your own. Another way, number 2, the second way to do this is if you have already done years of brand building, meaning you've already worked for a really amazing company. Let's say you've worked for Salesforce and you've already been putting content about what you do and how you do, so you already have a lot of following out there. Let's say maybe you have already written a book or 2, maybe you have your own framework, maybe you also have connections with PE firms or VC funds and has a solid network. If you're already a known commodity, then you absolutely can move it much farther. It's not as long as on your own, but it's probably like it will take about 3 to 5 years to actually get to $1 million business if you really continue to still do all the things that you need to do on your own, but you have a starting point. You're not starting from zero. The best way, the fastest and the most focused way to do this is to build on other people's brand or other companies' brand or other systems' brand. For example, you could be a EOS implementer, which I believe is about $50K, and to be a certified, and then I think it's about $1,200 a month or something like that. or you could be a story brand guide where you just do content and website development or management and messaging around it. I think it's about 5 or 10K, and then a monthly fee. Or you can be someone like John Maxwell certified, which is a coaching business. If you're inclined to do that, one-on-one coaching, and it's about, I think, 5K certification. What you're really doing is actually building something on other people's brand. Of course, we have GTM OS, go-to-market operating system, and if you want to build your business on top of ours, just comment expert, and we will just send you all the information that you might want. But ultimately, these are the three ways: either on your own, or either if you've already done years of brand building, so you have a faster way to ramp on it, or you can build it on other people's brand. If you want to build $1 million fractional business, you have to find a way to get there. Now, let me leave you with a couple of things. What you need to do as a fractional business owner. Number one, you need a brand, you need a funnel, you need to be trusted, you need to have a community, you need to have a differentiator, you need a newsletter so you're capturing information, you need a content machine so people know who you are, where you go. You need to have a process or a system or a framework or tool so you get to be labeled with that. You need to have some sort of leadership experience, obviously 10 plus years. You need to be able to be on top of all the go-to-market trends that are happening, because you're expected to know. And most importantly, I think you need to also have multiple streams of revenue: workshop, advisory, courses, all those things. I share all that is because when you're building on your own, when we started it in 2021, Brian and I wrote a book called Move that became a Wall Street Journal bestseller that thrust us into this. We didn't have any of this. We didn't have a brand, we didn't have a funnel, we didn't have a community, we didn't have a newsletter, all of those things. And we actually ended up building all of it. And what we're doing as part of the go-to-market operating system is actually giving this. We're licensing our brand. So you can be a GTM OS certified partner, just like anything. We're literally giving you the funnel. This is the go-to-market assessment funnel that can be white labeled and you can generate leads from it. You're actually part of $1 million community. So you can see all these people every other week. We talk about who is winning and how they're winning deals and how you're pricing and packaging, because it can get lonely and you don't want to be on it yourself. We show them how to put your own newsletter together without $1. We use Substack for it, and there are other tools. So you actually start creating a business pipeline for yourself. What you may have done for other companies when you were running their marketing or sales or being a CEO over there. Now you got to do it for yourself. And we have done that, have battle scars to prove it's been hard to do it, but now we have learned how to do it, and that's what we're literally giving this to you. Now, one of the things you will run into are mindset, limiting beliefs around ownership, and do you go all in or not, what looks like. So let me tell you two more stories. Celeste she has been an incredible fractional leader. She already has a couple of clients, and now she's using all the frameworks that we have in our assessment tool, and now she has embedded that with her existing clients. So now she's running workshop so she can have higher margin on her existing clients. Caitlin, she has worked with, you should check these people out. She has worked with Intel, Verizon Business, have multi-billion-dollar portfolios that she was running in demand gen. But now she has so much experience, 10, 20 years of experience. And now she's like, I want to be a GTM OS certified partner. And she has already white labeled it, put a website together using our frameworks and setting up meetings. So comment expert if you want to get all this information so you can build it on by yourself. But let me give you the last few things around it as you think about these three ways to build your own $1 million fractional business. Both of them have 10, 15 years of experience. So this is for people who have experience of doing something. So you can usher all of the experience in something different. But for now, instead of building 15 years of building their other people's businesses and other company businesses, you get to build something of your own. This is more about just building a business, but more about building a legacy, something that you've always, and most people probably around you have said, you got to do it. You are amazing. But if you don't have a brand, if you don't have a funnel, if you don't have a community, you don't have the frameworks around it, that's what actually causes this to fail. So start making sure that if you are going to want to build $1 million book of business as a fractional leader, you better have these things put together in order to do that. So hopefully you will comment expert and we can send you all this information and you can actually build an amazing business. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you.